It's interesting, but I need to own this. I talk a lot about gratitude and love, but I also know based on my experiences, I am capable of war. And that's the war that's raged inside of me for too long. So while the forces that shaped me were super intense, I'm working really hard to let my soul shine through and become beyond what my environment in those years forged me to be. Dealing with the trauma, things like feeling displaced and not having a sense of identity and having to create that from scratch. And I guess that's what war does. It does disorientate and displace you, and whether that's physical or mental, emotional or spiritual. And there's a lot of lessons that I've taken from that, but the impact is something that I want to avoid anybody else going through. War has a toll. It's got a big price. I've learned that the past doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme unless we learn its lessons. And this is something that has played on for generations, and it's playing out right now. The adjustment we made was also about going from living a decent lifestyle and being fairly comfortable to struggling to make ends meet, to relying on other people for handouts and hand-me-downs. In many ways, the act of receiving graciously was the hardest lesson for me to learn, and still a lesson that I'm working on to this day. So far in my life, I've experienced war, but I was never a soldier. I've lost everything, but I was never homeless. I've come a long way to be here, but I'm not a traveller. And I've come close to death on many occasions, but I cherish the value of life. We're still wrapping up 20 years of the most recent wars in the Middle East. And it doesn't end for those people. It might end for us, we might close that chapter, we might celebrate the win. But for those rebuilding their lives, rebuilding their homes, healing their physical wounds, even when they do that, their battle is just beginning. There's a whole bunch of things below the surface that continue on, and sometimes they continue on for 30 years.